Good morning. Some absolutely awful lighting in this car, but it's about 7 o'clock and I'm going go karting at 8. So we've got to get here about 45 minutes early to do all the briefing and get changed and stuff. So it's one of my mate's birthdays. Now that brings me to Coventry. Yes! Which is about 45 minutes from where I live. So I've come out my way. There's 3 CEXs in Coventry, which I didn't realise. Now, I've done a bit of research, and 2 of them are ones where they stock games that I need for my collection, and the third one is a bit further out the way, and there's only a couple of games I need for the collection, but they are like cheap titles, so I don't particularly want to go to that one if I can help it. I'll see how I feel after CEX number 2, but the first CEX is about 2 to 3 miles away from here. So it's not far at all. So I'm going to go there, and then from there we're going to go about another 3 or 4 miles to the next CEX, and then after that one we'll decide whether we're going to go to the third one or not. But that's 2 CEXs at least that I want to go to today, and I want to start a bit of a PS3 challenge. So I want to try and collect every PS3 game in the UK. Now there's about 1,100-ish. I need to work it out fully. But I've got a full list and removed all of the European exclusives. So I've left what I think is just the UK PAL games. So there's about 1,100. So I'm at about 930 at the moment, unique titles. I've removed all the filler and the variants and stuff. So there's about 170 games still to get. So I want to get at least 10 to 15 today. There's quite a few that I need, some easy ones and a couple of harder ones as well. So I'm going to go karting, and then we're going to get straight into the hunt afterwards. He's only gone and won the go karting. Just kidding, I came 13th and started on the back of the grid. Right then guys, I finished go karting. I came 13th out of 16, so I did really bad, but I had a lot of fun. There was probably about 10 people there that race regular, and out of those 10, maybe 5 were like really good and go all the time, and then there was a couple of my mates that we just went for his birthday. So most of us came towards the end. I think one of them came 5th, which was good, but everyone else came like 16th, 15th, I think 13th and 12th. So yeah, we didn't do very good, but yeah, we had good fun. That's the main thing. So I've just pulled up into an Audi, which is a really short walk to the CEX, and it saves me parking in the car park and paying, so I get 90 minutes free. So that should be more than enough time to hit the first CEX up, and then from there we're going to go to the second one. Now it's about 10:15 at the moment, and my mates are meeting at 12 for food, so it's put a little bit of a time constraint on the trip. Therefore I probably won't be going to 3 CEXs, I'll just be going to the 2 for now, and I'll see how I get on. But we're going to go to the first one now. I've got my book at the ready. So in this notepad here, last night I looked at the CEX stores and looked at their stock online. I had a look at what games I needed, and I wrote down what games are in what store. Speeds up time a little bit, and also I know then exactly what I'm looking for and what games are where, and that's how I established whether all 3 were worth going to. So let's go to the first one. I've got my rucksack with me to put the games in, and some sweets and snacks, so I'm all well prepared, and I've got my notepad so I know what I'm looking for. So let's go there now. Right, it was quite cold, so I took my coat with me. Now, I've just got back from CEX. The queue was horrendous, and this is one down, and there was going to be two, but it's now 10 to 12, and I have lunch with my friends at 12 o'clock. Now, I think the restaurant's about 5-10 minutes away, and the CEX is kind of 5-10 minutes away in the opposite direction. So I think I'm going to go and grab some food with my friends. I don't want to be a party pooper. And then I'm going to evaluate what the time is afterwards, and hopefully I can get back to the other CEX. However, even if we don't, I picked up like 16 games. But there were two people. Someone was trading in a mobile phone, and another family were trading in like 8 games. And just as they're about to like take payment and stuff, they said that like 3 of the discs were scratched, and they were back and forth. And then they wanted to buy an Apple Watch or something with the money. So there was a massive queue, and as a result, I had to, it slowed me down. Let's go get some food and see where we're at. This was a place called the Farmhouse in Coventry, and oh my god, it was absolutely incredible. Slightly pricey, but definitely worth the money. I paid £31 for my burger and a Coke. I was really hoping this game was in stock and in good condition when I got here, so to see it have a reprinted cover and not even have a manual was an absolute disgrace.
Greatest respect that a referee from Norway is the strongest official you can. This is supposed.
The fact that they're selling these expensive games is essentially disc only is a joke. Right then, so I'm back in the game room and I've got a massive stack of games in front of me. Now, I can't even remember how many I bought. There's probably about 30 games here, I guess. So the first CEX was pretty decent. I got one or two like heavy hitters, and then the rest were pretty much just shelf fillers. And one of the games, which I'll go through first, I won't leave it till last, but I'll go through it straight away. But one of the games that I picked up is behind the counter, and the discs are in the cases already, because obviously they're behind the counter, so no one can steal them. So I asked to see if the manual was in it. He opened it and showed me the manual, and I was like, great, I'll take it. Then I got in the car, looked through the games later on when I was on the way to the second CEX, and they put the wrong disc in, and they put the same like series in, but the wrong disc. And the disc they put in was probably worth about £3, and the game I bought was £30. So luckily, I went to the second CEX, and whilst I left the game and receipt in the car, I mentioned it to them because they had a copy of the same game on the shelf, and I said, is there any way I can swap it here without having to go all the way back to the other CEX and swap it again? So they said, yeah, what we'll do is we'll swap it here and send them the disc back on Monday whenever they send their parcels and stuff. So luckily I managed to swap it with no sort of hassle and no problems. That was pretty much the only error that I noticed. Is one of them. It'd have been annoying if I'd have drove home and then obviously having to pay all that extra for a crap game. Luckily it was sorted. So anyway, that game is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Trilogy. Now, I thought I had this in my collection. I'm really surprised that I didn't. I thought I had completed the subset of all the classics HD. So I went through them all last weekend and I noticed that I was missing this one. It wasn't on my spreadsheet, it wasn't in the collection, so I had to pick it up again. Now, I remember paying like 15-20 quid for it. Like, I'm convinced I picked it up. But anyway, it's gone up in price since then. On eBay, it was £35 to £37.99, I think. So 30 quid, I thought not bad. Or at least I thought it was 28 quid. I looked on the receipt, they charged me 30. And when I pointed it out to them afterwards, they didn't do anything, didn't refund me or anything like that. So, one of them. But anyway, we finally got the right disc. They put Splinter Cell Blacklist in there, and that was a bit frustrating. My phone actually died on the second CEX, that's why there's barely any footage, so I couldn't really like show you the problem when I discovered it, as my phone was dead. So one of them things, mistakes happen, just have to sort of take it on the chin, but at least it got rectified. So the next bunch of games I'm just going to fly through. Most of them are shelf fillers. Unless I've played the games or they're pretty decent, then I'll just sort of go through them. So we've got Madden 12, that was £1. Now I've got Battlefield 4 twice. Now I do collect the variant covers, and this is one that wasn't in my collection. I think I have it sealed, but I don't class sealed games as part of the collection because I want to play them eventually. I don't want to class the sealed games as part of the collection. The sealed games are kind of like my little investment, if you like. Just want to put them aside, and I may sell them at one point, whereas I don't plan on selling the PS3 games, so I kind of want to keep them all opened. So this was £1.50, and then we've got a variant which includes the Battlefield 4 China Rising DLC, so 2 different covers, so £3 for those. Then we've got Spider-Man 3. I have the Collector's Edition variant, but not the standard version, so this will be going in the collection. Then we've got Disney's G-Force. Now I have the North American copy, the NTSC version, and it does come with the 3D glasses, whereas this one doesn't. but this is the UK PAL version, so what I might do is take the 3D glasses out of there, put it in here, and then sell that version on eBay. Again, another one where it's like I kind of went through all the variants, took the variants out of the collection, and I want like a full vanilla set and then the variants keep separate. So I have the Game of the Year edition of Dishonored, but not the plain version, so that was £1.50. Another one that I thought I had, but I just don't, and that is Time Shift. I've heard pretty bad things about this game. I think it's like a good concept, but a pretty rubbish game. Then Zumba Fitness, I tried to get this at the start of the week from my local CEX, and they didn't have the disc, so only £1. Eat Lead, another one I thought I had, but obviously not. £5 for that one. All of these are complete, by the way. My rule is, unless like I really can't find the game and I'm struggling for it, and if it doesn't have the manual, then I don't buy it. So literally all of these will have the manual in. Then we've got Winter Sports 2010, the Great Tournament. Only £1.50 on that one. Buzz Quiz, I've got the special edition, but not the normal vanilla one. Then we got Tiger Woods PGA Tour 14. So I've got a lot of the Tiger Woods games. This is one of the ones I'm missing. That was £3. Two Worlds 2, I've got a weird mashup version where I think I've got the PAL disc, but the NTSC US cover, so and manual. So I upgraded it for the UK PAL version, and I'm going to sell that one on eBay. Another one I thought I had, Disney's Bolt. Again, all complete. Some of the cases and stuff are a bit grubby, but the actual cover art is fine, so I'm just going to clean them up afterwards. I've got some like sticky stuff remover and some nice spray and stuff that should clean it up quite nicely. I was going to pass on this one. The condition on the cover's not the best. It needs a case upgrade. However, so I thought for a tenner I'll probably leave it and find it again. However, I looked on eBay and £14 was the cheapest without the manual, and £17.99 was the cheapest complete. So for a tenner, I'm happy to add that to the collection, and that is complete. Then we've got Snooker World Championship 2007. I'm surprised that's £2.50. That seems quite expensive for a 2007 crappy sports game, but it is nice and complete, and it does have some nice background art actually on that one for any pool or snooker fans. Then we've got another variant which I already have, so this will be going on my eBay store, and that is a Gran Turismo 5, but this is the Collector's Edition variant. Then, funnily enough, this game I haven't been able to find anywhere for the last 4 years. I found it one time and it had no manual, but I kind of wanted the game, so I bought it, and I haven't been able to find a manual. Then I found one of the copies in the one CEX, and I found the same game again in the other CEX. So I've seen it twice in one day. Both have the manuals, so I bought both. So I'm going to be putting the manual in one of my in my copy. I'm going to be Frankensteining together the best version, so I have like a nice clean copy, and then I'll be selling the other two on eBay, one with the manual and one plain without the manual. So one will probably go for around about 15, and maybe the one with the manual will go for around about 20. Now it's £12 each, so I spent 24 quid on these, but these are quite good condition copies, and it's one of those rarer titles that does go for a little bit of money. So then, the next couple of games are all on the Xbox One, and they are all promotional versions. Now, one of them unfortunately has the normal disc, but the other three have the promo discs. So somebody from, I assume, Codemasters, so all of the games are Codemaster games, and my only guess is that someone worked for Codemasters. Now, I actually went to a client probably last year, and they worked in the same building that Codemasters headquarters is. I didn't get to like go in or knock the door or anything like that, but it was cool knowing that Codemasters were on the ground floor of that building. So I went there, and that was pretty cool. So I know it's located in Birmingham, and Coventry's not too far. So there's a chance an employee from Codemasters has a bunch of promo copies and just traded them in at their local CEX. So every game I'm about to show you had like 8 copies on the shelf, all of them promo versions. So we got Micro Machines World Series. And then that's the promo disc. So typically these are worth a little bit more money, so that's why I like to pick these up. So the game itself might sell on eBay for 6 to 8 quid, but the promo version might go for 12 to 15 quid. It just depends how rare the promo version is, I guess, or how common it is. So if it's a really common game, probably not worth a lot, but some games, the promo versions might go up in price. So something like Micro Machines, fairly uncommon game. Then we've got 3 different copies of the F1 games. So we've got F1 2016, F1 2017 with an absolute battered case, but the cover art is okay, so I'm going to swap that over with another case. And then we've got the headline edition of F1 2018, and it's the promo version. So these do have the promo discs as well, except for 2016. So those are pretty cool. Now I am an F1 fan, so I don't know whether to keep these for my collection or not. I haven't decided yet, but if I do decide to sell them, then these were only what, £3, £4 and £3 each, so a tenner for the set of 3. I'd probably sell them together, to be honest, because they're 16, 17 and 18 and they're all promo versions, so I'd probably sell it as a bundle. So I reckon I could easily get 20 quid, maybe 25 quid for all of those. Funnily enough, I then got F1 2019 promo version, but this time on the PS4, and this one sadly does not come with the promo disc either, and the case is battered, but it's a fairly generic standard case, so I might be able to find that on a CD somewhere and swap it over. But the inlay's all fine, and that was just 6 quid, and that's the Senna edition. Then we got a couple of steelbooks, so both of these will be for sale as I have them already. But the first one is Battlefield 4, and this was £1.50. Now unfortunately it's got the Battlefield 3 disc inside, but I only bought it for the steelbook anyway. It's only £1.50, so I don't care about that. Shame, but it is what it is. I'll just sell the steelbook on its own. Probably get about a £5 for it. I won't get much. The next one I'm a bit annoyed because there's a dent in it, and I didn't see the dent until I looked for it. But this is Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's quite a horrible. In fact, it kind of is fitting with the game, but it looks like it's got like a bullet wound in it. So that was 15 quid. What I've been doing with these, selling the discs for about 10 to 12 quid, and then sell the case on its own for 15 to 20 quid. So I picked one of these up last week in much better condition, and I've listed that for around about £30. Now I usually sell these for like 20, as I've just said, but recently when I had a look, there was no listings for like 20 quid. They'd all sold, and someone had one listed sealed for like £99, and then the next opened one was like 60 quid, so I aimed higher on that one, but realistically it's going to sell for like 15 to 20. Then the next ones I took a bit of a punt on. There's 3 like collector's editions left, and these ones were ones that were behind the counter, and I kind of asked, can I have a look at those to see if there's any steelbooks or anything inside, and I kind of was just like, you know what, I'll take it. So 2 of them do not have steelbooks, and the one that does have a steelbook I'll save till last because it's quite a nice one. So the first one is this Assassin's Creed Join or Die edition on the PS3. I don't know if I already have this in my collection. I don't think I do. And this one comes in a nice box. The lid pops off. So we have the standard game there, and I'll be keeping this one because this is a variant, as it's not to be sold separately. And it also comes with the PS3 exclusive edition. Then we got some cool stuff inside. So we got this pouch, and inside the pouch is this like solid coin, which is pretty nice. Then I don't know if it's like a letter opener or a bookmark. It's very flimsy, so I don't actually know what this is for. But there's this little bookmark thing. And then in here, the last thing, there's no CD soundtrack or anything, but the last thing in here is this really nice art book. So that's pretty cool as well. It all goes back in there quite nicely. I don't know if there's anything missing from here. That's the only thing sometimes with collector's editions at CEX, is they don't always include everything, but they still sell it at like the collector's edition price. So I'll have to double check if that's got everything in there, but I'm pretty sure it does. So that should be fine. But either way, it comes in a really nice box and the slipcover as well. So I'm very happy with the price on that one. Now the actual game itself is only worth like £1, £1.50. But I'm more than happy to pay the 14 quid for all that bonus stuff. And it looks really cool on the shelf as well. So then 2 games left. So they're both on PS5. And this one I saw on the shelf. But then I saw the collector's edition behind the counter. And I was hoping it would come with the steelbook. But it turns out the one on the shelf was the collector's edition. And when you took that to the till, they would have give you this as well. And that is Hellboy Web of Weird, I think it is. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Never watched Hellboy. I think I watched it a little bit when I was younger, but I don't have any idea what the hell Hellboy is really. I know there's a Hellboy game on the PS3, which I don't think I've played, but I know from experience it kind of kept its value. So that's about an 18 to £20 game. So this one was 30 quid. And it comes with a really nice art book. and the outer sleeve. So my phone had died, and I don't know whether this is like, it could be one of those games that you see on Amazon for like 20 quid brand new. Who knows? So it could be that every copy you buy is the collector's edition. I don't know. I don't know how rare it is or how expensive it is, but I took a bit of a gamble on it. I thought it looked quite interesting. I might give it a play and then maybe sell the disc on eBay and then keep the art book for the collection. Or I might just keep it in the collection as it is. I'm sure it's one of those games that might become a bit obscure in the future, so that will go nicely on the shelf. And then the next one is a game that I've never heard of, to be honest, and I don't know if it's online only. It looks like one of those games where it is just an online only game, but I could be wrong. It might have a single player, in which case if it does I might play it. If it's online only I'll probably sell the disc while it's still active, and then keep the collector's edition content. But that is Stellar Edition of Everspace 2 on the PS5. So this was £22, and this comes with a really nice steelbook inside. So I asked what was in it, and then she showed me, and again, didn't have my phone, don't know how much it's worth, but I just figured that was pretty cool. And also on the sticker, it doesn't say like Everspace 2 Collector's Edition or Stellar Edition, it just says Everspace 2, so they've charged me for the standard edition copy of the game, and I get all the bonus content for free, which is really cool. I love it when CEX do that. So some of the older stuff, I've got an example down here. So some of the older CEX games will sell stuff differently, so this Colin McRae Dirt Steelbook might be classed as like a tin edition or a Steelbook edition, so that might be sold for like £10, but then the Colin McRae Dirt game might only be sold for £3. So they used to like sell them separate, whereas nowadays they just sell it as one. So this should have been £22 for the standard plastic case, and I've got all this stuff for free, so that's pretty cool. So this is a really, really nice Steelbook. Now I like how the writing here is like embossed, which is cool. And then there's some like shiny bits on here where you got all the like intergalactic stuff. I won't show you the code just in case it's not been used, but you got the disc and that in there. So if anyone's played this game, let me know if it's any good, because it does look quite interesting. And then we got an art book here. So all of these three come with art books. And it does have a digital download of the CD soundtrack as well, so that's why I didn't show you the code, just in case it's not been redeemed. Although I'd much prefer a physical soundtrack, I don't like the download ones. Like, realistically, the CD soundtrack is a collector's item. Who's going to really like download the CD soundtrack and listen to it regularly? Probably not many people, so it's a bit of a con, I think, when they give you the CD soundtrack as a download, but it is what it is. So then, that is all of the games, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know how many are here, it'll be in the title somewhere, but I reckon there's at least 25 to 30 games here, so I had a bit of a splurge. I think I spent about £233 or something like that across the two stores, so quite a hefty chunk of change, but I've probably got about 14, maybe 15 PS3 games ticked off the list, a couple of variants, some nice steelbooks, and some really cool collector's editions to add to the collection. So thank you very much for watching the video. I think I'm going to try and make this a somewhat regular series where I go out and go PS3 hunting and try and complete the PS3 collection. So on that note, I'm going to go now, but I really hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know what your favourite pickup was in the video, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.